beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we, everybody? I'm in mulling mood. As in Mull of Kintyre. Mull. In the words of Bette Davis from The Whales of August, which was a marvellous film, if you like that kind of genteel Sunday afternoon stuff. Just a touch of November in my bones. It's definitely getting there, isn't it? Winter is chasing us and gradually descending. But nevertheless, I spent a nice 5 minutes yesterday laughing at a man feeding a pig whilst with having a chicken on his shoulder. I love the internet, don't you? Where else would you find such content? That's what I asked myself. So, Mulling, a couple of things before I get full mulled, right? There is a demonstration coming up. All links will be, as usual, in the doobries. There's a demonstration coming up because of a dreadful occurrence in which a young girl of 17 who pointed out that a gusset fumbler was a bloke, right, was subjected to a Maoist struggle session. Links in the doobries. So if anybody's able to turn up to that demonstration, I'm sure that they would really appreciate the help. And also, I think they're trying to get Martina to give him a, "Hiya Martina, how you doing?" to give him a bit of a shove. So actually, I'll tag Martina on Twitter and see if she's backing them, but she may well already be doing so. I don't know. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is Richie Heron, Tulip, has produced a Substack with some advice and guidance for parents that he's updated for those parents dealing with adult children, who are their children who are adults, who are caught up in the trans and queer and all that nonsense. So that'd be very, very useful. I put up a video that somebody sent me the other day, actually. So it wasn't me that did it. Don't think it was me that did it. It was me that found it. When somebody else found it, I nicked it. Right. I'd never seen AI translation with voice before. It's very peculiar. It was the Argentinian chap. So I've never heard it done before, but I thought it was rather good. I thought, we'll have a look at this. And we've now got people from Argentina saying, yes, that's exactly what he said. The translation is very truthful in that it is exactly what he said. And he made an extraordinary speech, some of which it turns out came from the West Wing. Good for him. That's all I can say, because Aaron Sorkin's one hell of a bloody writer. Good for him. It'd be like having Aaron Sorkin as your speechwriter as the president of Argentina. Not a bad idea. Okay? So that went down really well, but just to say that it was authentic. What was being said was what he said. And quite an awful lot of it was important stuff, I believe. And then I'm really mulling about what's happened to the Lelesh League. I think that's heartbreaking. That one of their oldest patrons, one of their oldest people who are on their board, the people that sort of oversee charities, has resigned because of their trans nonsense. They're sort of talking about breastfeeding men. There's no men don't breastfeed. They have gunk, which they give to children. And that, ladies and germs, is called child abuse. It's not complicated. And then we've got Archbishop bloody Wibbly, whatever his name is. Right? Really? Resign, you scumbag. Just resign. I don't get it. And watching what's unfolding on the streets of Amsterdam and then being reported from elsewhere in Europe as well has a terribly dark resonance with those of us who know the subject. We really are having a very dark time of it right now. And I absolutely fail to see why we aren't seeing condemnation from those in charge. Well, we aren't, are we? Keir Starmer is possibly the most unpopular Prime Minister in history, but I also think that his team are execrable as well. I mean, they're just appalling. There doesn't seem to be anything they can get right. Higher education bill, not happening. Curriculum redesign around activist curriculums and activist teachers, that's what they're doing. Homeschooling has never been more important in my mind. That's what I think. Utterly ridiculous. And then we have Trump, who has released a number of videos saying what it is that he's going to do, much of which I agree with, and I'm sure there'll be others of you that do agree with it. But what's most interesting of all is watching people on the left go absolutely insane. What's wrong with them? There's a bunch of women cutting their hair off. This is a cult. They're cutting their hair off because Trump got in. We will cut our hair off. Well done. Well done. They cut their hair off. They're sitting there having their hair cut off and some of them are crying, right? Or they're having breakdowns in their cars. Or universities are providing safe spaces so that they don't get upset by Trump's win, even in the UK. Even in the UK. You don't think we've got a problem? We've got a problem. We've got a massive problem. And I think it's important that we keep focused on what the problem is. That's what we need to do. So I was quite surprised to see a number of people saying there's got to be a middle way. I keep hearing this now. I've seen it a number of times. There's got to be a middle way. And a really interesting conversation that came up with a gentleman online called Ian, which was about, why are you highlighting individuals? Why are you picking on individuals? Why do you think individuals are a problem? Why do you just attack the core ideology? And there's an answer to that, which I gave to Ian, and I was perhaps a little flippant because he called me a patronising smug swine or something. I am not a patronising. Oh no, I can be a patronising smug swine, Ian. So, but it was a very interesting conversation. I think we need to be absolutely unequivocal about this. We are dealing with a collective, right? There's a difference between a collective and what we are, which is a collaboration. Okay, in the collective, the individuals don't matter. Think Star Trek First Contact and the Borg, right? Or the Sparrows in Game of Thrones. That's what we are dealing with. Now, whether an individual is knowingly taking part or has been duped into taking part is immaterial. Whether an individual has every understanding of the nuances of what's going on in the background and does it, or whether it's just some kid playing around and they do it, you have to understand that every single trans representation, wherever it appears, is an advert for the brand of queer theory. Okay? Queer theory. It is an advert for the brand of queer theory. Stop thinking about them as individuals. They're not. They're a billboard. They're a human billboard for queer theory. Now, that's horrible, because we don't want to mistreat individuals. We want to treat individuals well. And their friends and family will do so. We'll be there to help them, I'm sure. I'm not. I'm here to make them take off the billboard. I'm here to get them to remove that advertising, because queer theory is an unbelievably dangerous idea that will unpick our civilization from reality. That's what it exists for. Every trans representation, wherever it is, from whomever, is a billboard for queer theory. The fact that they are individuals who may have their reasons for doing it, or who may be troubled or unwell, is the purview of their friends and family. It is not the purview of society, who must call this out whenever and wherever they see it. Because queer performativity is the tool by which they market and get our consent to participating in queer theory. And queer theory seeks to break down the barriers between everything. There is no barriers, but particularly the barriers between adult and child, as said by Judith Butler to Owen Jones in 2021. So no individual gets away with it, not one. I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're 13, and I don't care if they're 90. Okay? If you see it, call it out, because they are a walking billboard for a societally iatrogenic belief system that is caustic and destroys everything it comes into contact with. All right? Mull over. Keep going, peeps. I'm teaching my warrior teachers this week. I love it. Come and join us in November. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.